this preview, brought to you by Harness Racing Victoria.
G'day and welcome, punters, to the preview of Tabcorp Park Melton Harness, or Trots tonight. Terrific program. We've got the Aldebaran Park Freestone Trotters Cup for the Square Gators and the VHRSC Classic for the open class paces, smoking up the champion, and Bitter Bliss, who's on the verge of greatness himself, taking on the challenge there. So it should be a terrific race, the seventh race on the program. But we'll kick it off with race one, the Naya Cup tomorrow pace, which a nice pointer for tomorrow night, of course. The Sky Predictor's got number 4, GK Galleon, on top of number 10, Tara Top Lady. Big C, 8 in third pick, and number 7, It's News to Me, the 88 Raider, and fourth selection. And it's pretty much in cahoots with me. I think we might have had a little meeting before the preview, the Sky Predictor and I. I'm going with number 4, GK Galleon myself. Worked forward in a stronger race than this last start, and was only run down by two very, very handy types in Hugo Play and also Good Time Jasper. So a great form reference for this race. Tara Top Lady, just as the predictor said, my second selection. A class mare for the Emma Stewart barn. They have plenty of good mares, plenty of good horses overall, but Tara Top Lady was probably slightly outclassed in the HBV Blossom Lady behind Sublimate. Better Give It last start, but a very handy mare, and can get into the race even from the second line draw. Big Z for third, gets that inside second line draw, and a sit sprinter who'll appreciate being there. Probably lob 3 back to pegs in transit. And Mr Orion's one at odds for your trifectas and first fours. Always needs a stack of luck in his races, but he has been racing well, and as I say, could put some value, and he'll be around 20 to 1, I would have thought. Okay, we'll go on to race 2 now, the Giant Steps Wines Pace Final, a C1 only affair. One of these heat into final affairs that have been so successful. Great job by Harness Racing Victoria to have these programs. They get run the heats in the country, and then we go to Tabcorp Park Melton for the finals. The Sky Predictor's gone with number 1, one of the heat winners, Alta Tearaway, on top, gets that pole marking draw. The other heat winner, Our Bella Bro, for David Miles, is the second selection from the predictor. Classy Guy, who'll get an inside peg line run from the Gate 8 draw, is third pick, and Who Broke Our Halo, who's been racing in consistent form, 5 podium finishes at its past 5 starts, in fourth. And once again, we're on pretty much the same page, the predictor and I here. I'm just going to switch around the top 2 tips in particular. I'm going with Our Bella Bro on top. She's a real class mare in a day, a headstrong mare who likes to bully forward in her races. If she can find the front here, I expect Who Broke Our Halo to begin quickly, but I think she'll hand up ascendancy to Our Bella Bro, and if Our Bella Bro can find the front, she was brilliant leading and winning from the top end at Bendigo in a heat of this race last start. Alta Tearaway was very good, as I mentioned, in its heat of this particular final, but probably won't be able to hold the front, and maybe not even the leaders back from the pole marking draw. So just a little question mark over where it will get to in the run. Still deserves to be rated second on class alone. Who Broke Our Halo, very much like the predictor, I think it's a very big chance. As I say, it's been very consistent, has gate speed. If it can cross over and lead Alta Tearaway before handing up to Our Bella Bro, a huge chance of running a drum here. And Classy Guy, I also mentioned, will get that nice pole marking draw, particularly over the 1720 metres at Melton, the short course trip. Being on the pegs, very, very important. So it'll get a nice soft run, and if it doesn't pull too hard from there, it can also figure in the placings. All right, we push on to race 3, the first leg of the Big 6 tonight at Melton's Tabcorp Park, the Pride's Easy Feed Trot. And much like the corresponding race last week, this is, well, it's almost a raffle. Number 10, Lysenko, for the Sky Predictor on top, was very good winning first up for Chris Lang Jr. and then didn't go quite as well last time out, but on top, number 10, Lysenko. Number 1, Don Keary, the second selection, back to her best form last start, flashing home out wide. 6, Abbots Hall, a sit sprint specialist who always needs luck, is the third selection from the Sky Predictor. And Monsieur Deville, who actually started favourite last Friday night in a very similar race, but had to go 3 wide and never really got into the race at any stage. Number 5, Monsieur Deville. And once again, look, there's some real synergy going on here between the Sky Predictor and my selections for tonight's Tabcorp Park meeting. I'm going with Don Keary on top, so I'm switching around the top 2 selections again here. Look, a difficult horse to catch at times, but as mentioned, was firing home very, very quickly out wide on the track last start. A sit sprint specialist who should be able to hold her rivals wide early, hand up to an appropriate rival, and can always be dangerous with that nice cold sit in transit, particularly over the 1720. Lysenko, I was super impressed with his first up win. He was a good form star trialer heading into that race. Won very impressively, and I'm happy to forget the last start effort 5 Monsieur de Ville I had on top last week. As mentioned, he ended up starting favourite, a class animal on his day. Look, I think he can roll forward again here. He'll be slightly improved from that first up run, and as mentioned, he has got the class to figure. And the Pearls of Paris, who was probably a little bit disappointing last week, but it was a bunch finish, had to go up and sit parked in transit. First run from the mobile after a lot of runs from the standing start in a row. I think it could also be improved in a race of 8 or 10 chances. I'll be happy to box those 4 up in an exacta or a quinella tonight. All right, the first leg of the quaddie now we head to. It's a terrific race. This Empire Stallions Vicbred Platinum Pace. A lot of winning form out of this race. A lot of horses with picket fence form lines. Number 5, Metro Mike, was absolutely outstanding last start. A very talented horse again for the Emma Stewart barn. The Sky Predictors got him on top of number 6, Jazz King. Jazz King, of course, defeated Metro Mike 2 starts back. Jazz King led on that occasion. Metro Mike parked. Going great guns here, going gangbusters for Sean Cattell. Sells Mo, who actually raced last night and was dominant, has now the picket fence form line of 5 straight wins and has been another big improver upon changing stables to Dean Braun. And Kick It to Chris, a one-paced warrior who's going also very well for Kerry Manning. Second, first, second at his past 5 starts. So absolutely no concerns with his form either. As mentioned, it's a very strong race. Look, I'm going with Metro Mike. I've been a massive fan of this horse for a very long time. I'm a little bit concerned about his gate speed. He doesn't always fly the mobile. If he can hold Jazz King out at the start, I give him he should win. Basically, if he can lead them around here and find the front at some stage, he should win. But even if he has to sit parked, he has a dazzling turn of foot, and I think he'll be able to pick them up very quickly if he's within striking distance. Jazz King, as mentioned, could not be going any better. 5 straight wins. Absolutely turned the corner for new trainer Sean Kittle. So very keen that it will be in the finish as well, particularly if it pushes forward as it has in all of its past 5 starts. Selsmo, a very awkward draw for him, gate 8. As mentioned, he's a pretty one-pace type, and if he gets in behind Maastricht, he'll be wanting Maastricht to hold the lead if he's to have any chance of blousing the top 2 selections. And then I throw in Maastricht, who gets the pole marking draw, has the gate speed to use it. Probably if there's any little query, it's her last start performance. She hung around the turn. It was her first run back from an injury and forced break. So, look, she would have to improve significantly on that first up run, but we do know that she has got a great amount of ability, and over the short course, if she can hold the lead early, she's going to be a massive winning hope, even in this field very rich for depth and class. All right, so we head off to race 5 now, the Pegasus Club Pace, second leg of the quaddie. Another very strong race. 2 horses in particular that should be fighting this out, and the Sky Predictor agrees with me once again. Number 3, Shake It Mama, who's returned to her very best form in this her 5-year-old campaign. She wasn't as good last season, but she was a terrific 2- and 3-year-old, a multiple Group 1 winner. Saab Quality, a bit like Selsmo, has grown a leg since heading to Dean Braun's Lara stables. Just going great guns for him. 2-1, 2-1-4, and broke the track record at Ballarat a couple of starts back. So he's a bully, he's an enforcer, and he'll be in the finish with any luck at all. The Unionist is a specialist short course horse who won a slightly easier race than this last week. Sat 1-1 on that occasion and just fired home to beat Kick It to Chris. So stepping up in grey, but as mentioned, loves the short course, and if there's plenty of speed on at the top end, you can expect him to figure very prominently in the finish. And Illawong Cath's the one I'd be throwing in. I've got it as one of my best roughies on the Good Form blog for this evening. I think Illawong Cath is going a lot better than her figure form line might suggest. She's come 6th and 7th at her past couple of starts, but hasn't had a great deal of luck on either occasion. And if she gets the nice run there, if she only has to hand up to 1 horse and gets in behind the leader, she could put a lot of value into your trifectas and first 4s. Race 6, the Aldebaran Park RC Freestone Trotters Cup, one of the 2 big features of the night. This one for the Square Gators. 2 horses in particular here that should dominate proceedings, and according to the TAB fixed odds, only 1. Elegant Image has been in outstanding form this preparation. 4 wins from as many races. $1.35, so a similar price to what it went around last week when comfortably holding 10 to Don, or a couple of weeks ago. Kai Valley Blur, the second favourite at $3.60. They absolutely dominate the fixed odds markets. Pretty Little Angel Eyes, who's been racing well without breaking through recently, at $10. And the Group 1 winning Pacer turn Group 1 winning Square Gator, Mr. Zion, at 12 big odds. The rest, including the Vicbred Super Series winner from about 18 months ago, in brief glance. Look, I do think it's a 2-horse race, but I'm certainly not thinking it's as clear-cut as the TAB fixed odds bookmakers there. I'm going with the second favourite, Kai Valley Blur. I know definitely Chris Lang has had a big opinion of this horse for a very long time. He's believed maybe this is the one who's going to step up. Here we see all the big guns in action, the true Roman Trotters free-for-all. Elegant Image in front, Mr Zion there, 3 wide in the track, and even wider Kai Valley Bleu. Now you can see Kai Valley Bleu here absolutely charging home. Elegant Image has done work from the head of affairs here, but a big run from Kai Valley Bleu. Mr Zion was also very good. Star Gun ran 4th in that particular race. Look, I think with the frontline draw here, Kai Valley Bleu can turn the tables with Chris Alpha, the puppet in the cart, only 11 wins away from 5,000 career victories. I'm happy to take him at the odds, particularly when you're looking at Elegant Image at $1.35. Having said that, Elegant Image is still well on track for a visit to New Zealand for some of their big square gaiting features, so you have to give him a massive hope. I think they're clearly the top 2. I don't rule out Mr Zion as a winning hope. I think he's the only other one with a winning hope. So if you're going to play a little bit wider in your quaddies, make sure you throw him in. We haven't seen him for a little while. I'm not sure if there's been a little injury setback, but he certainly is a horse of immense talent on his day, and Pretty Little Angel Eyes. Feel a bit sorry for this mare. She's low flying at the moment, but again strikes the race probably a little bit too strong, but definitely one worth including for your trifectas and first fours. Number 4, Pretty Little Angel Eyes. The next race in the program is the VHRSC Classic. This is the one that most people will be heading out to Tabcorp Park Melton to see. Better Bliss dominates fixed odds markets here, $1.45, so only a little bit longer than Elegant Image in the previous race. Better Bliss been absolutely outstanding so far this campaign. Smoking up the champion, who was back to his best on D-Day, winning the Markovina free-for-all, heading towards a possible 3rd Miracle Mile triumph. He's $5, seems very juicy odds at that. $9 for Jacket Clive, a terrific horse, a dual Hunter Cup place getter. Probably the pole marking draw is the main thing against him here. He could get shuffled back in transit. Then $12 for Mustang Mac, who's also a Group 1 winner, and $12 also for 5-star Anvil, who knocked up after leading in the Geelong Rocket last week, but will probably be better suited with a second line draw, more of a sit sprinter than a leading type, then out to Melpark Major and Because I Can, who I give a big place hope at $21. I'm sticking with Bitter Bliss here. Again, nowhere near as bullish as some fixed odds bookmakers might be at the $1.45 quote. This is Bitter Bliss defeating Melpark Major, but also Smoking Up, who's sitting parked on this occasion. This is the Minuteman free for all. This is enormous. Look at him. He's 6 and 7 wide out on the track and swamping a couple of champions here. Smoking Up couldn't go with him after sitting parked and Racing Tough, and Melpark Major also. So that's a measure of this horse's talent. It's been in the midst for a long time that he's going to need to win a Grand Circuit race to really live up to the champion status that some people have already given him, but he's certainly well on his way so far this preparation and deserves to rate on top, even though he may be driven in that conservative sprint manner again. I have got him on top. I have got concerns if he is driven ice cold, as Scott Stewart, the trainer-driver, has mentioned a few times this week and throughout this preparation. He's going to have to make up all that ground again, and this time Smoking Up won't be sitting parked. I'd suggest he'll be in front. So Smoking Up, a legitimate danger, and I wouldn't be taking Bitter Bliss one out in your quaddies or your big sixes. I'd be coupling him up with the champion Smoking Up, who, as I mentioned, is heading towards Menangle on November 30 for the Miracle Mile. Because I Can, definitely one of the best roughies in the program. The scenario I see here is him crossing over Jacket Clive early, holding them all wide until Smoking Up sidles up outside him, and if he hands up to the stablemate Smoking Up and gets in behind the leader, he's a huge place hope, and definitely one who'll add value to your trifectas and first fours, and 5-star Anvil, the other one with great sit sprint credentials, who could run into the race from well back if he gets the right cut into things late. All right, we'll head off to race 8 now. This is another one of these heat into final affairs, a tab.com.au pace final. The Sky Predictor's got Arbor on top, number 11. Had a sensational campaign so far for Tim Belitho, keeps going. Nimble Jack, number 9, a clear second pick. Then out to Future Operator 7 and Minty Choice, who won its heat for this final after leading throughout last time out. They are my top 4 as well. I'm very, very keen on Arbor. He's my best bet on the program. Race 8, number 11, Arbor. As mentioned, he should be heading towards Country Cup, so a C3 to C4 final should be well within his scope with Jason Lee in the cart. My second selection in the race, much like the predictor, is Nimble Jack. I'm also going with Future Operator as the other key winning hope if Arbor isn't quite at his best or doesn't get into the race. And also Minty Choice. Look, he got a very easy lead last time, but if it's able to find the front again and they drop anchor at some stage, it can also put value into your wider multiple wagers. The penultimate race in the program is race 9. It's the Ben Stud Standardbreds 3-year-old pace. A very clear top tip, but it does come with a caveat here. The Sky Predictor's got him on top, number 1 Racer. Number 4 Hargrave for the very astute Ross Sugars and Greg Sugars camp is the second selection. 7 Woodley Bow, another Kiwi interloper who's had 1 run on Victorian shores in third. And What a Player, number 9 for fourth. I'm going with Racer. It'll start very, very, very short, I would imagine. Started one of the favourites in the harness duels over there in about 5 or 6 starts back. It rolled Our Maxim, who ran fourth in an absolutely vintage Breeders' Crown final behind Bling It On Super Sunday at Tabcorp Park, Melton. He'll be leading, he'll be winning if he's anything close to right. Woodley Bow, the other Kiwi interloper, put a line through his first Victorian run. Simply never got a crack at them. Should be going forward from the wide draw here. And a great chance for the silver medal roll. Hargrave, another sit sprinter who'll need a little bit of luck in transit, but went very well first up and can also figure in the placings, along with Major Charge, who has also got a little bit of gate speed and should be in the firing line throughout. And to finish off the program, race 10, the Alabar 4-year-old pace, I'm going here with another one of my best bets in the program, as a matter of fact, Suspicious Behaviour. Only had the 2 runs in Victoria for Alison Chisholm, second to Stuck in second at Tabcorp Park, Melton, 2 starts back, and then a dominant winner last time out. I think if it can cross to the front here, it'll prove far too good. Only a little question mark is it's stepping up from the short course journeys to the 22.40. Easy Lightning, my second pick. Zetaguy, third, and Our Summer Wind, who was a Melton winner last start. My 4th selection in the last race in the program. As mentioned a little earlier, my best bet for Tabcorp Park, Melton tonight is race 8, number 11, Arbor. As I mentioned, he's been on the Country Cup Trail before, and he'll be going back to the Country Cup Trail, I think, this season, so he should be far too good in a C3 to C4 final, and my best value bet. I don't think he can win necessarily, but because I can, will be in a terrific position behind the leader in transit, I would have thought. And I'm going for a pretty skinny quaddie. 5 and 6 in the first leg. That's Metro Mike and Jazz King. 1, 3, 6 and 9 the second leg. 5 and 9 Kai Valley Blue and Elegant Image in the third leg, and then finish off with the champs, Smokin' Up and Bitter Bliss. $80 and that'll get you 250%. So a pretty handy dividend of the quaddie if we can lob it at Tabcorp Park, Melton tonight. So good punting. I think it's a terrific betting program, and for all your punting information, remember to go to goodform.trot.com.au for all the best tips on tonight's big card of racing at headquarters at Tabcorp Park.
This preview brought to you by Harness Racing Victoria.